¡Qué rock and roll, pequeñuelos, chicuelines, bomborrines! ¿Cómo están? El video de hoy en el canal es muy especial, es muy particular, es muy distinto. Así que antes de empezar, quiero darles un poquito de contexto. Me invitaron a entrevistar a Susan, ahorita lo voy a repetir más adelante, pero la CEO de YouTube, es decir, que es la jefa, la patrona, es quien controla esta bella plataforma. La entrevista es un poco larga, ¿no? El video dura más de 20 minutos. Le cortamos lo más que pudimos, pero ya no quise quitarle más porque son preguntas muy interesantes y son respuestas muy interesantes de Susan. Así que para la gente que quiera nada más ver ciertas preguntas y ver ciertas respuestas, aquí en pantalla va a salir más o menos un código de tiempo con la pregunta, por si se quieren ir directo al minuto 15, 14, 11, 45, aunque no hay 45. Estuvo súper interesante, es una plática one on one con la persona más importante de esta plataforma, así que espero que lo disfruten. Ya me voy a callar, que arranque este video. ¡Qué rock and roll, pequeños! ¿Cómo están? El día de hoy estamos en mi departamento, pero no es mi departamento. Si se fijan muy bien, vean atrás, es como una especie de miniatura de mi depa. La neta les quedó muy chida. Estamos en YouTube Space Los Ángeles, a punto de entrevistar a una persona que es monumental, es histórica en esta plataforma. Y YouTube me sorprendió, hizo este mini set. Dejen en los comentarios qué les parece. Ahora vamos a cambiar de idioma porque esta persona no habla español. Entonces, let's try to change to English. There it is. Perfect. English is set. So, please, everybody, welcome Susan! Susan! Hi! Oh
Hi.
my god! Such a pleasure to finally meet you.
I'm so glad you could invite me to your apartment.
Yes.
Here in LA.
Where were you?
Just around the corner.
Around
so I
the
thought
corner.
I'd come by, say hi.
Yes, super
I
nice.
heard you were here.
What do
I
you
heard your
think?
apartment had been recreated.
There's definitely budget in my channel. I can do a lot of things in
A
here.
few posters and shoes.
Shoes.
Yeah.
Definitely my shoes.
You got a lot of shoes.
A lot of shoes. Shoes are great. They're necessary for life. So guys, this is Susan over here. Susan is the CEO of YouTube since 2014. That is absolutely nuts that you're in my physical, real apartment, my legit apartment right now.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me here. Meet you and get to hear your story. And you said you've been on YouTube about as long as I've been CEO. So we have that in
Correct.
common.
We've both been 6 years in the business, more or less, here and there. The first question is your last name. We spoke about this behind the scenes, and I still want to be able to know if I nail it.
Okay.
Susan Wojcicki.
That's good.
That's for the
That's
win?
good. Yeah.
Fantastic. Wojcicki.
Great job, but I respond to all versions. So in school, people would always say Susan, and that's when I was like, I'm here, that's me.
Wakiki? Have you ever called you Wakiki?
Yes, I've heard that before. I've heard all variations.
Wakanda?
That one I have not heard.
Okay,
Wakanda,
okay.
but most W names I respond to.
Okay, well, my last name is Zurita, Juanpa Zurita.
Yes.
Foreign last names.
How do people pronounce your name who are not Spanish speakers?
Zurita.
Yeah.
You guys are probably wondering, why is this happening? Why are we here? Susan was available so that I could ask her questions about anything that I wanted about the platform. And being a CEO of this company, she has access to a lot of information. So today we're gonna be able to see the company through the eyes of someone that has been in it for the past couple years. She was in Google for 20 years, then she jumped into YouTube. I wanna say thank you for being here. I think as a platform, it's super cool that you guys are doing this, that we're able to connect, that we're able to have a talk, and hopefully it's helpful for creators out there too. Let's start it! So I talked to the Latin community of creators. We have a chat where I shared that I was gonna interview you. First of all, they were all very excited. A lot of them asked for a video for their granddaughter. I'm not gonna say that here. It's gonna be awkward. I've recollected most of their questions. Let's do this.
I'm open to any question you want to ask me.
Drum rolls. What is your favorite color?
That's not what I expected the first question
I know.
would be. What's blue?
Blue, me too.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
move on. I think one of the biggest things on YouTube is the algorithm. Is it mathematical, meaning it's completely independent, or is there any type of filter on the videos that the algorithm picks?
It's complicated. The algorithm that we have tries to predict what videos will any user want to see. We look at the history of videos that they have subscribed to, or videos that the user has watched or told us that they didn't like. We include all of that information and we build a prediction model of what is most likely to work for any user. Recently, especially in the last 2 years, have spent a lot of time working to make sure that we're also bringing the right information. If you're just engaging with music or funny videos or videos about cats or whatever, it doesn't really matter which
Those
cat
are
video you see.
Very good
Right.
videos.
Yes, there are lots and they're funny.
I don't have a cat. I have a dog.
Okay.
She is hilarious though. I have an interview on this channel. I interview my dog and she speaks with a very dark voice, even though she's a French poodle, super tiny French poodle.
Okay, I'm gonna have to watch that. I'm gonna have to watch that one. The algorithm takes into consideration so many different factors, from what's most likely to be successful for any user coming to the platform. Is it an informational query? And if so, how do we make sure we have the best information for them?
There's never at the end a human making sure that should be on trendy or shouldn't be on trendy.
Whenever you go to your home feed or you're watching a video and you see videos are recommended next to you, all of that is algorithmic. We're looking at billions and billions of data points to try to figure out what's the right set of videos to show. We have over 2 billion people who come to YouTube every single month. We have over 500 hours.
Every single month?
Every single month.
Please subscribe.
We also have 500 hours uploaded every minute. And so there's no way that we could have any kind of people involved. Everything is done algorithmically. And with machine learning, better and better prediction models of what we think people want to see.
And I think there has been improvement.
So trending is a different
algorithm
category. Trending is a place where we do have an algorithm. There are different ingredients that go into the trending tab. The goal of the trending tab was for people who don't know YouTube really to be able to discover what is popular on YouTube. But then once our algorithms determine the content that's there, we also have people look at it to review it, because
so trendy has humans recommended.
We just do a human check to make sure that the content that's there makes sense to be on the trending page and available for everyone. Make sense?
It makes total sense.
Okay.
And it's fantastic. Second question is, as creators, there's a little bit of a confusion of what exactly are the blacklisted words. Is there a way that those could be handed to the creators? Is that possible?
We don't have any list.
Okay.
Blacklisted words.
Okay.
We have guidelines for what we enable ads to run on. For example, like profanity. So people have asked us, look, if I have a word and I'm swearing, like, is that going to mean I'm not going to be able to serve ads on it? Just getting first into like what can you say in your video? Yeah. Words can be or can't be on a video is a really complicated discussion. There are some words, for example, that might be considered offensive for one group to say. So it's very subjective and it's in context, and so we always want to look at the context of what's happening in the video and never say, oh, like you could never say this word, or if you do, then the video won't be on YouTube. We want to always be looking at the context. Oh, but with ads, we have a broad range of advertisers, and some advertisers tell us, I never want my ad to appear next to anyone swearing. It's their money.
And they have all the right to.
They have all the right to do that. It's their brand, it's their money. They get to choose where they want to appear. The standard advertiser, not the one who's super careful, maybe can tolerate some profanity, but not a huge amount. And so that's why we actually say if there's profanity in the thumbnail, if there's profanity in the title, if there's a lot of heavy profanity up front in the video, that can really affect your ability to monetize the video. But most advertisers understand like some profanity, especially with artistic or creative or songs. I mean, they understand that goes as part of the art.
Yeah,
but
art.
Again,
that's the word.
But there'll be some advertisers that say, no, I can't do that. And so we give advertisers a broad range of options. We say, oh, are you super careful? If so, there's a restricted set of videos that you're on, or a limited set, and are you more standard, or are you willing to just advertise on everything? That's basically how we do it. And even when we say everything, there's some set of content that we know just might not be appropriate for any advertiser, but that's a really, really small amount.
I think it would be interesting to give a notice to the creator, like, you can decide whatever you want to for your content. Here's a heads up. If you fall into doing these things, it could happen that certain brands don't want to put ads into your video. Because I think what the misconception is like, some creators are like, oh my God, YouTube is paying me less. No, YouTube's not paying you less. The brand that is sponsoring the content you're doing is putting less budget there. There's a phrase in Spanish saying, bajo advertencia no hay engaño. I think if you translate it, it says, if you give a warning, there's no lies.
I appreciate you realizing it's complex, that we're dealing with advertisers on one side who are telling us what they want, and they're saying, hey, if I don't get what I want, I'm going to take my money somewhere else. And that's actually bad for all creators, right? Because then no one's making money. Our goal is to work to make sure advertisers feel comfortable and that we're recognizing what they need on the platform.
That's super cool. Okay, next question. This one's one of my favorites. I have two favorites. This is one of my favorites.
Okay.
A lot of the creators in this chat that I've talked to you about, there was a moment.
Are you going to add me to this chat?
I can add you to this chat.
That would be a lot of fun.
That would be a lot of fun. Should we send them a picture right now?
Sure.
To the chat? Peace and love. Next question is, there was a moment, I think a year ago, that suddenly out of nowhere, a lot of videos were starting to be demonetized. There was people claiming them or XYZ. Doesn't really matter. The point is that a lot of videos got demonetized or brought down. It happened because a new set of rules were implemented into YouTube, and videos from the past that exist without those rules got punished. With this said, how are we sure of the content we're doing today is not going to be punished tomorrow?
We're always updating the policy, and we have to because the world is changing, and a lot of policies actually are good. When we update them, it actually will give creators more flexibility in how content is managed on the platform. We do go back in time and we say that if content made in the past, if that content was fine at the time, then there should be no strike. We make sure that there is no penalty for content that was created before any change in policy.
Rules are attached to dates then?
Yes, they are. Let's say we make an update to harassment or hate or one of those policies, and then we have a video that now becomes violative of policies that we've made. So that video would no longer be eligible to be on the platform, but no strike would be given to that creator because when they made the video, that rule didn't exist.
Content has to be out, but there is no strike to the creator.
Exactly. Updated it this year so that the first strike that any creator ever receives now is just an educational one, so that creators know, oh look, there's a strike system. And then you have the other three. This way they just get a notification, like this was a problem, why, here's how you can read about YouTube rules, here are resources to learn more, and going forward, if you do this again, then it will be a strike. So we've been trying to give creators more flexibility with that.
You and I keep talking about how, there's these guidelines, the creators are understanding them better, and usually the mistakes that they commit is because they didn't know. Could there be any tool that YouTube makes to provide to creators so that they could upload their video there and understand if there's any type of copyright in it, or it's categorized as any type of content? Is that a possibility?
We do encourage creators to upload their video first unlisted. Then they can see, are they getting a yellow icon or are they getting a green icon? And they can see, oh look, I got a yellow icon. Maybe there's something in here that I should change. Okay. When we do the self-certification, we give feedback to the creators, and that helps them have a better understanding of where we may have had an issue from a policy perspective.
Okie dokie, no problemo. A lot of videos have been getting claimed from different record labels, which of course they have all the right to. It is their product, and that song does belong to them. Have you ever thought that as creators, we do want to use copyrighted music and we're willing to share a piece of the pie? Meaning, if the video is 10 minutes long and we use an entire song for 1 minute, then 10% of the earnings of that video goes to the record label or to the artist, and 90% to the creator. And this outcome is the best for the creator and the artist. And I know that's completely subjective on if the artist wants to or not, but I think starting a program, artists that are willing to do it, and knowing the artists that you can use their song to give them their copyright and they're gonna get revenue, I think it would be a massive breakthrough in the platform.
I agree with you. There's a lot more we can do between creators and artists. YouTube we have a lot of creators, we also have a lot of artists, and so I agree with the general idea that there's a lot of ways that we could have those two groups work together more. And so that's definitely on my mind and something we're thinking about. But let me tell you what we have today. Okay. So I think directionally I agree with you. But what we have today is, first of all, we had an issue where a lot of creators were getting manual claims for short amounts of incidental music. And so we worked with the record companies and the music companies. And what we did is we made a change. So first of all, we made it so that if you're going to claim music, you have to put the timestamp in so that creators know where that timestamp is.
Yeah, that's helpful.
So that's the first thing we did. And then we also made sure that we have editing tools to make it easy to remove it and to swap in music from our music library. So we enabled that to happen.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so that was the first change. But then the second change that we made is we also made it so that the artists and music rights holders can't claim really short incidental music. They could block the video, but they can't necessarily claim it for monetization. And again, it has to be short and incidental, but it changed the ecosystem. We want to make sure that when there's short incidental music, there's an opportunity for creators to keep their revenue. So those are all things that we've done to try to be responsive. We do have another way that we do share music right now. So if a creator does a cover of a song, they actually can get 20% of the revenue. So that is,
really?
Yeah, so that's what program that we have.
I'm gonna start singing maybe.
Yeah, I could see you have some covers.
What do you think?
Hey, I'm not. So I know that's definitely not great singing.
But there's potential.
I'm not
Imagine like a raspiness type of bachata maybe, or something.
I have a feeling I wasn't seeing your full singing potential.
The Gypsy Kings?
Yes.
You know, volare.
Yes.
Oh! Some colors in there. Is this gonna get copyrighted? I don't know.
That would be example of short incidental music.
Oh my god. You can take that percentage of the video. That's what we're trying to do here.
You know, we see that we have artists and we have creators, and we'd love to find a way for them to work together more in the future.
I think it's exciting. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I think it opened the door for a complete new business. Like, I think it's about artists coming up, creators partnering with even artists to do things together. I really think if that happens, it's like a new book.
I agree with you. You're very convincing. If I have any issues with our music deals, I'm gonna bring you along.
Yes, come on, record labels. We want to use your music. We want to grow your artists. We want to grow ourselves too, you know?
I'm glad you're thinking about it.
Other questions are, when a brand name is attached to the title, does this make it limited in any way? Limiting the reach anyway, or exposure, or... No. Moving on. There's a lot of new creators now.
Yeah.
Which is beautiful. It's like
Yeah.
a movement now. Now
Yeah.
being a creator is same path as being an architect. You know, in the past it was like, what are these kids doing? Now it's almost like established,
Yeah.
which is cool to see how it's evolved. For new creators and old creators, is the exposure the same? Are the opportunities the same? Or is the platform getting oversaturated?
We love all creators. And you're right, like we do have new creators, and we have creators that have been on the platform for as long as YouTube's been around. Our goal is to make all different types of creators successful. The only difference really is that if we have someone who starts today versus say you, like we just know a lot less about the creator who started today.
Okay.
And so we don't necessarily know who to recommend them to. We don't necessarily know what kind of videos they produce.
Okay.
So it's harder for us to figure out and connect them with an audience. So for example, someone like you who has millions of followers, we can guess like, oh, these are the types of people that would want to see the video. So we build better prediction models as a result because we know a lot more information
There's
about
a history.
you. There's a history. We know about you, we know about your followers, your viewers, and so that gives us the ability to better predict who to recommend your videos to.
We were talking about, you use a word that starts with P, and it's about bad words. What's the word? A synonym of bad words?
Profanity.
Profanity, sex, violence,
Yep.
content, music videos, and movie trailers that include those type of content, yet they do get the trending page. I'm unaware if they monetize. What's the difference of them doing it there versus creators using it on their own context?
So I think what we see is that sometimes with a music video or with a trailer that there will be artistic license taken where they're simulated violence or something that's more graphic, and that song becomes a well-known part of culture because everybody's talking about it, everybody has watched it. For that reason, we'll put it on the trending page because it is becoming a part of culture. People have seen it and it is part of what we have on the platform. And it's been, in a sense, like already accepted as part of the culture. Whereas if you take a video and people are doing a bunch of violence, like filming it in their backyard, people could look at that and it's not necessarily part of culture. It just looks like a violent video. It's on our trending page. There's a misunderstanding of why is that video here? Why is YouTube endorsing that? And so, you know, I understand we want to do the right thing for creators. We've actually gotten a lot of feedback on trending and we have committed and we are tracking it and we're making sure that the content on trending is representative of all creators who grew up on the YouTube platform. We look at YouTube and about half of YouTube are creators who are YouTubers, like pure YouTubers who have grown up, started on YouTube. I mean, you said you started on Vine, but
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Vine.
It's a sensitive topic. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second.
Yeah. So we want to make sure that at least 50% of the views on trending come from creators who have started and grown up on YouTube. Trending itself is a small part of our views. What it is then it's seen by press or it's seen by people who may not necessarily know that much about YouTube. And so we have to be careful about what we put on there. Like we all care about YouTube and making sure that it's attractive to advertisers and that we're doing the right thing for the platform as a whole. And so our goal is to like show all the great creators we have. But if there's going to be something that involves violence, that could be problematic for the platform of a whole if we put it on there
100%.
and it looks like we're endorsing it.
100%. And I think as a creator, it's important that I share that when you know that you're on trending page, it does motivate. It does make you feel like, you know,
it's nice. People will get excited. People will get excited.
You did a good job.
Yeah.
It just seems like something that would trigger creators, at least me personally, to be like, that's very cool. And it was almost like a healthy competition. I want to do two things. You told me that you spoke a little bit of Spanish.
Sí.
Poquito?
Poquito.
Suave, suavecito.
Muy bien. I want you to say, I don't want you, I want to offer you, if you desire,
Sure.
to say, you know what a riddle is?
Yeah.
I think it's a riddle.
Yeah.
It's a complex saying with particular repetition of sounds.
Yeah. How do you say in Spanish?
Trabalenguas.
Trabalenguas. All right.
Ready? Oh, wait, let me switch the language. Listo.
Perfect.
Listo, español. 3 tristes trapecitas con 3 trapos troceados hacen trampas lentas porque suben al trapecito por trapos y no por cuerdas.
Please, everybody, give a round of applause for Susan here.
All right.
That was amazing. You can roll your R.
Well, thank you. That was very kind.
Can you go? I think you're close. I think you and I,
Yeah.
your R potential is equal as my singing potential. I would like to close this video saying, first off, thank you for doing this. This is
thank
freaking
you.
cool. This is super awesome.
Thank
I
you.
still can't believe I have a tiny apartment here. Thank you for
I
everyone.
couldn't go to your apartment, so
Yes,
we brought your apartment
people
here.
Hashtag
So-
YouTube. That's what it is. Like 6 people or even more behind these cameras. So thank you to everybody. And I want to let you know that you're doing a fantastic job. And you changed many lives, including mine. I had a feeling when YouTube approached to make this interview with you and I talked to all the creators, all of these questions seem like creators are like basically saying, we don't like this, we don't like that, we want money, money, money. That's basically, in a nutshell, what I'm sensing. And I would like to steer it a different way. And I think this is people that are dedicating their entire life into one platform and they want to be the most comfortable they can and the most clear they can. And the effort of these questions are not on how can they monetize more. It's about how can the platform and the creators understand each other better, because we're in it together. At least under my perspective, know as YouTube that I do understand the complexity of what is happening. I mean, you were working on Google when it was in your house and you were one of the first employees, and YouTube went from being a platform that wasn't even sustainable on phones and you would watch cats doing backflips to one of the biggest companies of the world. I know that it is a challenge. As creators, we don't see that every day. YouTube, there's probably problem solving, they're trying to figure out things. There's new brands that are trying to work with you guys and you're trying to speak with the creators. So it's almost like you're orchestrating these two people.
Well, thank you. Our goal is just to make the best possible platform. Whenever I would talk to creators, I want to actually hear about what issues they're facing. There's some things that are going well, and then there's some areas where we can be better. And what my job is to make sure that things are going better. And so that's what I'm focused on, and making sure that we have an understanding from creators on what the issues are, that we're in touch with that, and we're addressing and fixing them. I'm always so impressed with creators who are so funny and they have so much knowledge and are there in front of the camera and connecting with their fans. We have a lot of respect always for the hard work that creators are doing, and just want to make your lives easier and make sure that you're getting the most views, that you're generating the most revenue, is doing the best job we can for creators to be able to have the best opportunities on YouTube, to reach a lot of users and also generate the most amount of revenue. I really enjoyed being here today. Yeah, and thank you for being a YouTube creator.
Thank you. And Susan? Anyways, we were talking about something. We were saying goodbye. Yeah. What a lovely, lovely chat.
I have a YouTube channel.
Yeah,
I use it to talk to creators.
Okay. Go check it out. It's gonna be linked in the description. Also, I don't know if by this time we're gonna be at 10 million subscribers. Oh vaya, pero qué duro momento estar editando este video y mirar atrás hacia el pasado y ver al incrédulo de Juanpa y pensar que él creía que ya íbamos a estar en 10 millones. Vean esa cara de fe, de esperanza, destruida, porque estamos en 9.6 y ya casi llegamos, pero no hemos llegado. ¿Qué más puedo hacer por ustedes? ¡Suscríbanse! It's gonna be very exciting, but if not,
what are you gonna do to celebrate?
What are we gonna do, Susan? That's a good question for this interview. I guess I cannot say. Maybe I'll throw you out of a plane.
Not me.
Don't worry about it. Thank you, Susan. This has been such a great experience. It's
Thank
been
you.
really beautiful being in the space and enjoying time with the people here. It's such a nice vibe and such a nice
Juanpa, ¿qué pasó? ¿Dónde estás? Nos vemos la próxima sábado, el mismo tiempo, la misma hora. Ciao.
And that's a wrap, everybody!
How was that? Was that okay?
Yeah.
Did I say it more or less? La próxima sábado.